Imagine waking up in a tropical paradise, sipping a mango shake and hearing that a YouTuber just got arrested for trying to steal a cop's gun in Bonifacio, Global City. Welcome to the Philippines, where the sun is hot and the drama is hotter. Vitaly, once a prank channel legend, now holds the Guinness Book of World Records for fastest fall from funny to felony. Arrested, facing 24 years. Not for a prank, but for the streaming equivalent of juggling flaming disrespect on somebody else's front lawn. Let's roll the highlight reel. Harassing locals? Check. Fake autism confession? Check. Stealing a mall security bike? Grabbing a guard's gun and yelling, "I'll eat your dog"? Triple check. Somewhere out there, Johnny Somali just sighed in relief. Finally, someone has made him look less stupid. The internet's goblin king of truth-telling. He didn't just react, he obliterated. Called it influencer Darwinism. Said Vitaly was cooked. And you know what? He's absolutely right. Now, I'm not here to gloat. I'm here as someone who actually lives abroad, here in the Philippines. I've seen this place, and I've seen what happens when someone turns a camera on and thinks, "I'm the main character." Newsflash, you're not in LA. You're not in Europe. This isn't content, it's international embarrassment. So this video, it's all about Vitaly, sure, but it's also about how the internet has raised a generation of circus performers who never learned to read the room. And sometimes the room has cops and laws and, consequences. So buckle up, because this isn't just commentary, it's a cautionary tale. And yes, there's plenty more where that came from. Before Vitaly became deportation bait in Southeast Asia, he was already the poster child for what happens when prank culture loses its lead. He wasn't just a part of the prank boom, he was the boom. The kind of guy who'd fake a terrorist bomb scare and then scream, "It's just a joke, bro. It's just a joke," as the security guards tackle him. And YouTube? It rewarded him big time. The thumbnails were all red arrows and cleavage. The titles were all caps lock screams. And somehow, he became a millionaire by doing things that would get most people banned from their local mall. His entire career was one long episode of what if Jackass had zero charm and a felony record? But fame isn't a personality, my dear friends, and views do not make you invincible. Then came Miami 2020. Vitaly brutally attacked a random jogger. No prank, no setup, just violence. The man went from fake chaos to real trauma in 0.2 seconds. He disappeared, reappeared, apologized, and meditated. Maybe even drank green juice. He claimed change. He promised growth. And like clockwork, boom, he's back in the streets. This time in my beloved Philippines, live streaming his descent into discount Johnny Somali cosplay. Imagine a guy so allergic to learning that he turned deportation into a genre. The truth is, Vitaly didn't evolve. He mutated. Yeah, his stunts became louder. Yeah, his targets became poorer. The jokes became non-existent. It's not just sad, frankly, it's embarrassing. The influencer version of watching someone microwave a fork because the sparks look cool. He wasn't even chasing clout anymore. He was chasing his own shadow with a selfie stick and wondering why it kept outrunning him. And yet, the tragedy here isn't just Vitaly. It's the platform that rewarded this behavior for over a decade. The algorithm that gave him fame. And when he set it all on fire, it gave him trending status. So when people say, "He's just doing it for views," yeah, I say exactly. And that is the problem. Okay, so up next, we're gonna break down exactly what happened in Manila. Because this time, it wasn't a prank gone wrong. It was the cultural equivalent of licking a light socket while shouting, "Content!" Vitaly didn't just visit the Philippines. He stormed in like a bull in a cultural china shop, live streaming every second like it was a Netflix special nobody asked for. Here's what he did in no particular order. He grabbed a mall security guard's ID. He tried to steal a motorcycle. He allegedly reached for a cop's gun. He harassed women. He claimed to be autistic mid-prank. And he offered to sell someone's dog to China. Okay, I get it. I'm edgy too, but this wasn't edgy. This was Grand Theft Auto Manila edition with a Wi-Fi connection and zero self-awareness. All of this was broadcast live, by the way, with gripping titles like Disturbing the Peace in the Philippines, which is about as subtle as robbing a bank in a t-shirt that says, I love crime. It's the first time someone's gone viral by speedrunning their own deportation. Now here's the kicker. The Philippines is one of the most welcoming countries on earth. Locals here will invite you to dinner just because you made eye contact. You don't even need fluent Tagalog, just decency. But Vitaly, he showed up with an arrogance, a camera, and the energy of someone who thought respect was a brand of cologne. And the authorities? Well, they noticed. They perp walked him like a boss fight in a JRPG cutscene. Cameras rolling, baby. Secretary speaking. Whole country watching. The man looked like he had just realized the content warning was real life. And in the biggest plot twist, he tried to flex. I donated $20,000. Okay, my guy, that's not an apology. It's a bribe wrapped in a delusion. I think Asmongold really summed this up perfectly. You do not pull this in a country where the former president's literal campaign promise was to get rid of all the drug dealers. You are not that guy, and this is not the time. This wasn't Vermont. This wasn't prankster paradise. This was a country with history, pride, and consequences. What Vitaly forgot is that cameras add 10 pounds and sometimes 24 years to your sentence. This was not a prank gone wrong. This was cultural disrespect on parade. And the crowd, my Filipino brothers and Filipino sisters, were not laughing. Okay, next up, Asmongold enters the chat, and our Roach King ain't pulling any punches. If the internet is a courtroom, Asmongold is undoubtedly a judge, jury, and goblin sage of common sense. And when he weighed in on Vitaly, well, he didn't hold back. He basically declared, welcome to influencer Darwinism. In his signature no BS style, Asmongold called Vitaly a scumbag IRL streamer. He said he was worse than Johnny Somali and delivered the kill shot. You steal a cop's gun in the Philippines? Bro, you're done. I don't think this was just a reaction video. This was a digital roast so potent, it came with a side of rice and justice. Asmongold said what everybody else was thinking, but too brand safe to say. This behavior isn't just cringe. It's antisocial, reckless, and embarrassingly stupid. And the kicker? Asmongold was right. Dead right. There is a reason that IRL streamers don't pull this nonsense in places like Dubai, China, or North Korea. Because in those places, the content ends with a closed door and a permanent timeout. What makes Asmongold's take so powerful isn't just the rage, though. It's actually his precision. He wasn't just ranting, he was dissecting, clarifying the exact moment when creator became menace. He basically handed out a PSA in 1080p. Nobody wants to go outside and get harassed for someone else's live stream. And yeah, as someone living abroad, as someone living here in the Philippines, as a permanent resident here in the Philippines, I felt that deep in my expat bones. The internet's tolerance has changed. We're not 2014 anymore. You don't get clout for being a public nuisance. You get clipped, canceled, and possibly convicted. And when he joked about building a prison in Greenland just to hold YouTubers like this, it was only half a joke. Honestly, not the worst infrastructure project I've heard this year. Okay, tier list. F tier pranksters get community service. B tier chaos agents lose their ad revenue. A tier cultural vandals, well, life without Wi-Fi and a roommate named Carl who plays the harmonica badly. Asmongold didn't cancel Vitaly, by the way. Vitaly canceled himself. All Zach did was read the obituary out loud while sipping water. This moment, I think, has marked a shift from viral chaos to viral accountability. From he's just trolling to he's actually in jail. So let's talk about what it's like, really, to be a foreigner here in the Philippines and why being respectful isn't just moral, it's magical. Here's the thing that most content creators don't understand until it's too late. Being a foreigner is not a personality. It's not a niche. It's not a license to act like the world is your personal sandbox. Living abroad doesn't make you special. What makes you special is how you behave once you're on someone else's soil. The golden rule: rule? Well, that's pretty simple. Don't act like your passport is a permission slip for chaos. You are not the main character. You are a guest star on someone else's show in a culture that was not built for your haha bro TikTok. I have lived in the Philippines for years. I've made my share of social mistakes. Don't get me wrong. Wrong words, wrong timing, wrong assumptions. But I've also learned that one trait that gets you further than money, clout, or cinematic drone shots of rice terraces. You ready? Courtesy. Yeah, that's right. Courtesy is the cheat code. It's the social armor. If you show a little humility, ask questions, respect the flow, suddenly doors open. Tricycle drivers turn into tour guides. Security guards become your hype men. You're not the foreigner. You're just a decent human being who belongs here. Now, contrast that with the content clown approach. Loud, demanding, always filming, never listening. That's not just disrespectful, it's radioactive. It contaminates trust. Yeah, you might go viral, but the only community you're building is one that wants you gone. People forget, the same culture that offers you a seat at the table can also flip that table and hit report on your whole vibe. You don't need to be perfect to live abroad. You just need to not be the guy yelling, "I'll eat your dog," while reaching for a guard's gun. That's not a bit. That's a breakdown. The whole Vitaly situation, well, it's a masterclass in how to not behave abroad, guys. It's not censorship. This is legit consequences. It's not cancel culture. It's community standards in real life. So here's the travel hack. Are you ready? Be kind. Be courteous. Don't be a content colonizer. And when in doubt, shut up and listen. You don't need to go viral to be valuable. Sometimes the best moments don't make it to the camera, but they do earn you something stronger than views. Trust. All right, let's bring it all home with a moral, a message, and maybe some poetic justice. So, where does all of this lead us? Well, a YouTuber sits in detention, his steak deal gone, his live stream career torched like an old Twitch VOD. A country reasserts its dignity, and the internet, for once, it learns something useful. Not every culture is here to be your content farm. Vitaly isn't the villain because he was loud. He's the villain because he was entitled, because he saw people as props, because he turned human interaction into a punchline factory. He didn't break the internet. He broke the one unspoken rule of living abroad. Don't be a jackass with Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, in the most ironic twist of 2025, Asmongold has become, once again, the voice of reason. The man known for raid bosses and Reddit deep dives stood up and delivered one of the clearest truths. This isn't entertainment, it's antisocial behavior. And he's not wrong. And neither is the Philippines for responding the way that they did. This beautiful country that I call home is generous, warm, deeply rooted in community and kindness. It runs on social harmony that doesn't need subtitles. You don't need to speak perfect Tagalog, but you do have to respect the room. The same way you wouldn't walk into your grandma's house shouting obscenities while filming. Maybe don't do that in a country where you barely understand people. Because when you film people without listening to them, you're making enemies, not content. So this whole saga, well, it's less about one guy and more about the internet growing up. Slowly, painfully, publicly. It's about realizing that freedom of expression doesn't mean freedom from the consequences of your bullshit. And hey, maybe that's the punchline. Vitaly finally went viral. Just not for clout. Instead, for cultural indictment. So here's my takeaway. Are you ready? Be funny, not foolish. Be curious, not condescending. Be present, not performative. If you're filming abroad, yeah, bring your camera, but also bring your brain and your manners and maybe a backup plan that doesn't involve handcuffs. All right, meatbags, like this video, subscribe if you feel like you learned something, and next time you travel, leave the clown suit at home, or better yet, burn it. Respect earns trust, and trust, well, that's the rarest content of all. Welcome back to another episode of Solitary and Streaming. I'm your host, Vitaly, coming to you live from Cell Block C, sponsored by, well, nobody, because I got banned from Kick. Today's challenge, getting a guard to let me vlog lunch without getting pepper sprayed. Spoiler alert, it didn't go great. Look, if you're watching this and thinking of being an IRL streamer, don't. Unless you're ready for unskippable ads, metal toilets, and roommates named Jorge who snore like dying camel. And remember, the only thing you should ever grab from a cup is their attention in a court-ordered apology video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Or don't. I won't see it. Prison Wi-Fi is worse than dial-up. Vitaly out.